Hello friends and welcome to my channel Iballdesigningdeveloper. So do you know what is typecasting in Java? I think not. So converting one data type into another effortlessly. So typecasting in Java is converting data type to another. It helps in efficient memory usage and handling different data types. So we will be learning about two types that we normally use in typecasting, which is implicit and explicit. We will be using icons and simple diagrams to show the conversion of these types which we use in typecasting, and we will be also seeing that what is widening typecasting, what is explicit narrowing typecasting, and we will be seeing that why typecasting is important when we are using it with Java. So I hope you'll be enjoying this video from start. So if you enjoy this video and if you understand this amazing tutorial here, so remember to hit a like to this video. And if you're new on this channel, hit the subscribe button, and after subscribing, hit notification bell so you can get the notifications of all my videos which I'll be uploading on this channel. So now what we are waiting for? Let's move to computer screen and let's get dive into it. So now we are in the computer screen, and like I've told you in the start that today in this video I will be telling you that what is typecasting in Java and actually what's the purpose to use this typecasting word in Java. So normally if we talk about typecasting, so typecasting is when you assign a value of one primitive data type to another type. So previously on we have learned about primitive data types and non-primitive data types. So typecasting is when you assign a value of one of your primitive data type which you are using in Java to an other type of primitive data type. Means you can only assign a value through typecasting to a primitive data type, not to non-primitive data type. That's really important. So we will be highlighting this thing here. And in Java, there are two types of casting. One is widening casting, which is called an automatic casting, you can say, and it convert a small type to a larger type size. That's really amazing. Then if we move on to the second type casting which we use here is narrowing casting, which is called as manually casting the text or a object, and it is called a converting larger type to a smaller size type. Like here using this widening casting, when it is used automatically, we are converting a smaller type to a larger type size, and in narrowing casting we are converting a larger type to a smaller size type. So that's the difference between both casting or both type of casting which we use in typecasting in Java. So what I'm going to do is I'll be just opening my IDE, which is NetBeans. Like you all know that in the previous videos as well, we were just using this NetBeans IDE as our normal default text IDE, so that we can add all the codes and we can see if we are using typecasting in Java in this IDE. So how the output we are getting here in our terminal or in the output, so we have to check that as well. And now still you can just see it will be taking some time to open, and when it will be opened, so you can just open your main file which you were using. So previously on, when we were just working with our other videos, we were just using this main.java file which we have already created. So I'll be removing all the things here from this file here because I'll be adding new codes here to see that if we are using typecasting here, so how we are getting the output running. So I'll be moving on to my Word document again, and you can just see here we are getting widening casting, in which we can cast is done automatically when passing a smaller size type to a larger size type. So like I've told you in casting, means in widening casting, like I've told you that it is done automatically, and when passing a smaller size type to a larger size type, we will be using this widening casting there. So this is the example code, like how we can convert anything into widening casting. So I'll be just copying this code here, and then if we move down, so this is narrowing casting. If we want to like convert anything manually by placing the type in parenthesis in front of the value, so you can use this code here, and then by using this code you can convert anything into narrowing casting, and that's the way to do. Then you can just use these all things in real life example as well, like if you're using typecasting in an example, creating a program with that, so how you can create. So this is the small program which we have created using typecasting, in which we have used both type of casting, widening casting and narrowing casting. So this is the thing that you can use here. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'll be copying this thing, in which we have to first of all see if we are using widening casting, so how we are getting it running in the output. So I will be just pasting in place of this public class main here like this, and you can just see when I've done this thing, so it is giving me an error because I have not created another bracket. So I have now created it yet. So now I will be running this. So first of all, the output you will be getting here of this thing will be as 9, because here as well we have written in comment output 9, and then down you will be getting the output as 9, but it will be with 0.0. So you can just say it will be a decimal 9, 9.0. So I will be now running this thing. For run, you can just press right click on your main.java file or any file which you have created, and then you can press run file, or you can also press shift and F6 here. So I'll be pressing this run file here, and if I run this thing, so now you can just see the first output we are getting is 9, like here I have comment out as well, and then down we are getting the output as 9.0, means both things are running perfectly and we are getting our output running. And that's the way to use these widening casting here when we are working with Java. So I hope you understand how we are doing it, because in init value we have written the value as 9. That's why when we are printing this my init, so obviously we are getting the output as 9. And why we are getting this output as 9.0? Because we are using my double value. And when we were just working on data types, in which I have told you about float data type, my double and all that, so you can check that video out if you haven't checked that, because if you check that video out, so you will be having a good mindset that if we are using this my double data type, so actually how we are getting the output running. So if I'm using this my double data type, so obviously any value which I have printed in my init will be printed as a decimal value, and that's why this 9 is printed as 9.0. So I hope you understand how we are getting this output running here in the terminal. So now moving on to my Word document, again we will be understanding that how we will be running this narrowing casting, because we have understand that what is widening casting and how we can use it, because we have also run it in our Java terminal and it was running perfectly fine. So I'll be now copying this code here, which is of narrowing casting, so we can understand if we are using this narrowing casting in our document, so how we are getting it running. So I'll be copying this thing here. Then moving on to my NetBeans IDE, I will be just commenting out this thing, because we have totally understand that if we are running these all things, so how we are getting the output. So simply I'll be commenting out, and you can just use control and / to comment out all the things at once, and then I'll be moving down and pasting all the things again. So I'll be removing this public class main, because already we have created here, so we don't need to create again. So the first thing which we have printed is double my double, so that I can get this 9.78 in decimal value. When you will be getting this, so now through manual casting you will be getting double into integer, and this 9.78 will be printed as 9.78 first in the output, and the second output which you will be getting in the integer value will be as 9, because obviously we are printing the value 9 here. So without decimal the value will be normally integer value as 9. That's why when you will be printing this value with integer data type, so you will be getting the output as 9. So I will be running it, and for running I'll be just doing the same method like I was just doing in widening casting. So I'll be just moving on to my main.java file, and I'll be pressing right click and I'll be pressing run file here. After pressing run file, you can just see the first output we are getting is 9.78 like we have written here, and then the second output we are getting is 9, means all the things are working and we are getting all the output running. So what I'm going to do is I'll be changing the number value here. If I change it to 10, so now you will be seeing that the first output we will be getting is 10.78, and then the second will be as 10. So I'll be running it again to check. You can just see now the first output we are getting is 10.78 and the second is 10. So like this you can just run all these things, and you can just use typecasting. So I hope you understand how we are using typecasting, that using typecasting how we are printing the first value as decimal and second value as integer, like we have done in widening casting as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move on to my Word document again, and now we will be seeing if we are using both things in an example, so how we can create a small program using this thing. So I'll be just copying this thing in which I have used both narrowing casting and widening casting, and I'll be moving on to my NetBeans IDE, and in place of this I'll be pasting all these things which I have copied here. So you can comment out this thing, and then I'll be moving down, and then I'll be pasting all these things. After doing this, what I'm going to do is I'll be taking all the things in one line. So I'll be pressing tab here so that I can get this thing in one line like this. So you can just see, and then here as well I'll be doing same thing, tab. If it does not move, so you can just press double click to make it in one line like this, double backspace, sorry. Then what I'm going to do is I'll be just printing these all things. We have not commented out anything from here. We have commented out all this thing here, because we don't need anything from here. We have understand what is widening and narrowing casting. Now if we are using both casting here, both typecasting values here, so that how we are getting this program running in the output, we have to check that. So what I'm going to do is I'll be pressing right click on my main.java file, and I'll be pressing run file. So you can just see we are getting user percentages 84.6. So you can just say we have created one small percentage program through which we are getting the percentage of a user. Like I have written the max score as 500, then in it user score as 423, and when we are dividing user score with max score and when we are multiplying it with 100, so output we will be getting as user percentage, and now the user percentage we are getting is 84.6. If I change numbers here, like if I change it to 423 to 450, now you will be seeing the percentage will be increased here. If I right click on my main.java file and if I run it, you can just see. So the user percentage now we are getting is 90.0, and we are getting this percentage in point figures, because normally when we check from calculator as well, we are getting a percentage with point decimal values. So that's why I have used this f value, float value, so that I can get my value printed as a point value and I can get my percentage as decimal value as well. So I hope you understand how we have created one small program using typecasting in Java. So if you have understand this video, if you understand how we can just use typecasting, what's the purpose to use typecasting and why we use it, so remember to hit a like to this video. And if you are new on this channel, want to see more videos like this, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing, hit notification bell as well, so you can get the notifications of all my coming up videos which I'll be uploading in future. So I'll be meeting you in next tutorial or in next project using Java from start. So for today, good. Bye.